told our guys all week long that it wasn't going to be easy. You know, don't buy the lie. You know, there's obviously the perception that's out there going in those type of games with the season that they had was that it was just going to be an easy cakewalk, and the coaches who've been down there before and you know, knew that was not going to be the case. It was going to be a battle, and it was. You know, really got off to a slow start offensively. You know, coming out 3 and out, and then the 2 turnovers, and then we had another drive, ended it with a punt, and so obviously that was disappointing, but really pleased with how our guys responded. No one panicked. Being on the road, obviously every week, you know, there's more and more pressure with the type of season that we have, but our guys responded well, and in the next 6 drives, we had 5 touchdown drives in the next 6, and so I thought that was you know, really good. I think the poise that our guys has shown this year, being in those situations, is different than any other teams that I've been around, and especially on the offensive side of the ball, the guys just showed great poise. And you know, we've been in that situation several times this year, where maybe it gets down to it's a 1-score game, and maybe the other team has a little bit of momentum. You're playing on the road, and you know, it takes a lot for an offense to go 80 yards and really turn that momentum. And our guys have responded all year, put in that situation. There's a lot of confidence to take from all those situations. You know, I think one thing that stands out to me is 3rd down. That's an area that we've really been trying to improve on as the year has gone, and I believe we finished 9 for 13, and more importantly, 7 of 9 in the second half. Seemed like every one of those 3rd downs in the second half were critical 3rd downs on touchdown drives. And you know, another week with no sacks up front. I thought that was really good. Offensive line's done a really good job protecting Deshaun, and obviously Deshaun does a good job of getting rid of the ball. We had 4 tackles for loss. I think one of them we took a knee right before halftime, so that doesn't really count. And then another one was on the reverse. Another one was on the speed sweep where we fumbled. And so I think, and there's maybe one more that was on a wide receiver screen. And so really none of the 4 TFLs were on the offensive line. So they've done a good job of eliminating negative yardage plays. Really pleased with some of the young guys that contributed in a big game like that. You know, we talk to the guys every week that you never know when you're going to be called upon. And you know, I think of a guy like Trevion Thompson. You know, it's a guy, he's been playing a good bit, but just, you know, for whatever reason, the times he's in there, the ball just hasn't found him. And there wasn't a bigger play than that 3rd down late in the game. And he's right there, ran a great route, and Deshaun threw a great ball and executed. So really pleased with Trevion. Obviously, Deon Kane is just getting better and better. Just shows up each week. He made several big-time plays. Jermon Hopper has been consistent and made some nice plays. And then really pleased with C.J. Fuller. You know, Wayne needed a blow, and we put C.J. in there, and he went right down the field and did a great job. So I thought that was really good. Obviously, the biggest disappointments was the fumbles, the 3 turnovers, and something that, you know, we talk about all the time. Coach Sweeney talks about the you know, turnover margin being a critical piece to winning games, and you know, we drill it in practice, and we'll continue to do that. I think the biggest thing is not to panic. You know, we're not going to panic with our guys and get our guys playing tight and worried about those type of things. We just got to kind of go back to the details and fundamentals and improve on that this week and protect the ball. You know, North Carolina, obviously excited to have an opportunity to play for the ACC championship. And anytime that you play for a championship, you're going to have to earn it. And that's definitely the case this week. They are much improved on defense from the defense that we played out here last year. That was pretty obvious when you turn on the video. Coach Chiswick has done a great job with their defense, with their scheme. They're very disciplined. They keep everything in front of them. We've got 7 starters back, I believe, and they've got a lot of experience there on the defense side of the ball. I believe they're ranked number 19 in the country in scoring defense. So they're doing a good job of keeping people out of the end zone. I think they're only giving up about 20.8 points per game. and then also ranked in the top 20, I believe number 19 in pass defense. So they've done a really good job against the pass. Very athletic, they run well. Linebackers, very athletic guys, cover a lot of ground along with the secondary. And this will be a big test for our offense. And it seems like this year, we've had to earn everything that we've gotten on the offensive side of the ball. I know going into the South Carolina game last week, I believe, we'd played 5 of the top 20 defenses in the country in total defense. And so it's kind of the year of the defense going around in the ACC right now, and these guys will definitely be a big challenge for us. But our goal is to go out and play our best game. We've had a lot of success and done a lot of good things this year on offense, but I don't think we've played our best game yet on offense and our most complete game yet, and I think we're getting close. And that'll be our goal, to put that on display there in Charlotte Saturday night. So with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Jeff, what exactly is going back to fundamentals when you talk about the fumble issues? I would think you'd have done that a long time ago, and can you characterize what you actually do?
Yeah, well, we do a lot of things. Whenever we go through it starts at the very beginning in our flex runs, whenever we start off every day of practice, rather than go through the flex runs, how typically you would do it, all of our skill guys have a football, and all of our coaches are walking around. Y'all seen us out there with boxing gloves trying to knock the ball out. Those guys are having to do all their flex runs, holding the football high and tight and in the proper position. And then throughout practice, we chart what we call BIJs, which means ball in jeopardy. So anytime we see a ball that gets outside of the framework and it's not put in that correct position, then we track those, we grade those, and hold those guys accountable for things like that. And really just, coach it whenever you see it, talk about it. These guys will learn from it. And, it hasn't been something that's been a major problem all year. And we've just been fortunate that we've been able to overcome the ones that we've had so far. I think the worst thing that you can do is go panic and just start going crazy and all that, because then you get guys start playing timid, playing scared, afraid to make mistakes, and that's not who we are. We're gonna obviously we want to be well coached. We want to play fundamentally sound, but we're going to go out and play with a lot of confidence and put it all out there. So there'll be a fine line this week, and the fact that we're going to coach it, we're going to learn from it, but then we're going to move on and keep doing what we're doing.
You see, some coaches, some old school coaches say that these things are cyclical, that you go through these spats of things, and then eventually it's just going to work its way out, and then you'll.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe last year, maybe towards the end of the year, we fell into the same thing. We had some turnovers, and then we went into the bowl game, and I think we had 0, and maybe Oklahoma had 5. Right there in the bowl game. So I think that can happen. It's very similar to maybe in baseball when a good hitter gets in a slump, and it just it takes a little while to get out of it. And but sometimes they do come in cycles or bunches, and hopefully we're on the other end of that. And so we'll keep working on it.
Jeff, you mentioned the poise when the game gets tight. Obviously, Deshaun's a big part of that, but in general, you think y'all's experience in a lot of big games the last couple of years provides that sort of comfort, kind of an advantage in those situations?
Yes, I do. I think number one is coaches, the way that we handled it on the sidelines. I think our players see that and respond to that, and there was a lot of confidence. Even after Artavis put that ball on the ground, we go over to him and say, hey, we're going to count on you here a little bit later, so let's get over it and keep moving. And we feel very confident that we're the better team, and we're going to play 4 quarters. And but I think the players, I think offensive line, just the leadership that you have in that group, and really all those guys buying into it. And there's been plenty of situations in the past where maybe we found ourselves, kind of where we were Saturday, and it did not go the way we wanted to the rest of the game. And I think part of that is experience, learning from it, and then part of it's just the mental makeup of the guys that you have on your team. And like you said, Deshaun, he's got that personality, kind of that even keel personality all the time. So I think that really helps. He never gets too high or too low. And I think once you continue to do that and pull yourself out of any of these situations, there's a lot of confidence that you can pull from in those situations. And we told our guys before the game, hey, there's going to be a point in this game where it's not going to go well for us, and we're going to need to be the ones to go turn the tide and just stick with it and know that we're the better team and we get to play 4 quarters, and they're not going to shut this thing down after the first 5 series. And our guys believed in that, and it worked out.